All right, we are live here at the lunch break this Thursday, October 30th, day before Halloween. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope you're not working too hard, but I hope you're working. Make that money right there. I see a couple of you guys in the comments already. Hey, listen, guys, I missed you guys yesterday. Sorry, had some business to take care of, but missed you guys. It's kind of when you get used to doing something every day and you don't do it, it kind of throws everything off. And that's what happened yesterday. So, again, appreciate all you guys joining me today. Got a good Livewell coming up tonight, too. I'm waiting on the guest to confirm. That's why I've not made a post about it just yet. But if this guest confirms, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic show. What's up, Jeff and Doug? Doug, quit sending me pictures of all those deer. You're killing me there, dog. Carver, how you doing there? How are you doing? Let's go ahead and take care of the business. Toys for Tots, guys. December 6th. Laurel Park, Lake Lanier. Guaranteed 5K first place prize. $80 per team. 60 goes to the pot for places 2 on down, depending on the number of boats. 20 to the big fish. Okay, if you drive a Phoenix, there's some Phoenix contingency money if you are the winner as well. Everybody's got to bring one unwrapped toy. Every angler, one unwrapped toy, so that we can give the kids for Pickens County and Hall County, give them a nice Christmas, put a smile on their face. We get to fish while we're doing it. Absolutely fantastic thing. What's up, Alex Coleman? I got you craving sixlets. I'm telling you what, Justin Ortiz, one of the things, and you know how it works, guys. I wake up and I'm like, what are we going to talk about today? And I had 100 things on my mind, and there's so many different ways that we could go. And it could be fishing, it could be out there, in the news, whatever's going on. But tomorrow's Halloween, and that means candy, right? And I know I'm supposed to be on a diet. I know that I'm not supposed to be eating candy, but we do, right? And so every year, but except for this year, I haven't seen it. Every year on Facebook or something, you normally see like almost like the March Madness of candy. This candy takes on this candy, and they keep working down the brackets until they figure out what's the number one candy. You like that backdrop? Yeah, that is the Groove Fishing launch pad. I'll show you guys it here in a second. I thought that black and white with the Spro and Arc jerk baits looked pretty awesome. Now, yeah, you guys are already going to throw it out there. So here's my question. Number one, in your opinion, what's the greatest candy of all time to give out on Halloween? What's the biggest letdown if you were trick or treating? And I know it's been a hot minute for some of us, but let's just say we adults get the trick or treat. What candy are you expecting? And what candy do you not want? And there's candy out there like that. You guys know that. You can remember from your youth if you were one of the ones who got to go trick or treating and you walked up and they had X, you were like, yeah. But then if they held out B, you were like, all right, we'll see. We'll see about that. Doug Rice says, have a company Christmas party that day. Was really looking forward to grabbing that extra Phoenix money. Doug, skip the party. You got to go work with them. Dude, you're with them 355 days a year. Skip the party. We're a better time. But I get it. I understand completely. Snickers. Candy corn. Now, first off, candy corn, Carver, is the most god-awful, overrated candy out there. Now, I hope that's not the one that you want, because candy corn to me is that's wax. That's wax. You're sucking on some flavored wax. Now, Fred Ashcraft, mini Snickers and Bush Light. And Alex said he'll take some Bush Light. I don't know how many people are giving away Bush Light. But yeah, hey, you never know. Jelly beans suck. Jeff Brazil. Jelly beans are overrated. I will say some flavors of jelly beans absolutely are. There are others, though, that I absolutely love. Okay, there's some. It depends on what you get. Now, when it comes to jelly beans, now they got those little flavored things that you can get it like tasting like popcorn or whatever. And then they've got I don't know. I've seen the kit where it's a trial by error. You don't know what you're gonna get. One of them tastes like puke. One of them tastes like something. They're different flavors, and you just got to pick and hope you get the one that tastes good. I don't know. King size Kit Kat. Absolutely. Kit Kat. Now Kit Kat's solid. Your Snickers, your Kit Kats, they're solid. Okay, they're definitely solid. Last year was the first year out of the last 3 I didn't end up shutting down our Halloween party on the brown water. Turns out I act up after 20 plus shots. You shouldn't be doing that, Cam. I think we all would do that. Doc Holliday says no Twizzlers. Twizzlers are overrated. I agree with that. Twizzlers are absolutely overrated. Here we go. Somebody finally nailed it. Reese's Cups, Kit Kat, Twix, Mounds. There you go. Those are solid. Snickers is the bomb, and Twix, solid. Kit Kats, Reese's, Bit-O Honey. Okay, now Tracy Coker, you're showing your age. I like Bit-O Honey. I don't know if any of these young kids do. They probably don't know what in the hell it is. But I do like some Bit-O Honey from time to time. Absolutely. This is not good stuff for our diet, right? Where are we at right here? Jolly Ranchers, Richard Carbon. Back in high school, I could dig some Jolly Ranchers because you could sneak them in. As I have grown older, I don't know that I'm into the Jolly Ranchers that much. What's up, Kendra? Jello shots, Coleman. Now listen, Coleman, to be such a good, fine Christian young man up there, you sure do come up with some of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? In the comment section every once in a while. We're gonna have to pray for you, buddy. Payday is solid. Silver Punk. Now I will tell you this: if I go into the store right now and I'm buying a candy bar, which doesn't happen very often, I'm getting the Payday. Got the peanuts in it. Got the caramel. I'm a caramel guy, peanut guy. Absolutely solid. Tyler says candy corn and those pumpkins are hot garbage. See, that's the thing. Candy corn sucks, dude. I can't believe, was it Carver that said that? We're gonna have to talk to Carver up there a little bit. Reese's peanut butter cups. Roger Gibson, appreciate you joining me today, buddy. Absolutely. Doug says Reese's. I like the Reese's pumpkins. Kendra, okay, let's get a female perspective. Starburst jelly beans are awesome. They're solid. I can go with that. Now, Kent, here we go. Yes, right here. Homemade fried apple pies. My wife's grandmother made them for all the grandkids and me. Popcorn balls are the same thing, right? But are you giving out fried apple pies for Halloween? And if a kid came up today, think about this. And I don't live in a subdivision. I'm out here in the woods. Ain't nobody coming up to my front door. In fact, my wife makes us go to a friend's house just so she can participate in giving out candy. We do it every Halloween. But here comes some kids dressed up as SpongeBob, whatever the hell it is they dress up as these days. And you hand them a fried apple pie, especially an old school fried apple pie. How many of the stink eyes do you think you'd really get? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to give you the stink eye? And who is going to say, ooh, fried apple pie? Now, 53-year-old Danny walking up, give me 2. Let me have 2 of those fried apple pies. But yeah, I heard the best bass candy is those lipstick or plastics working on a new worm. It's about that time, and they do taste good. Absolutely. I like a good old Twix. The orange peanuts. Now, that's the thing, too. Silver Punk, yes, the orange peanuts. I don't even know what they're made out of. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know exactly what the formula is to make candy corn. Well, candy corn, I know what that is. Hell, you just melt some candles, orange candles, and that's candy corn. But I do know exactly what he's talking about, them damn circus peanuts that are big and orange, and you bite in there, and they don't really taste. They're kind of like Play-Doh that's set out for a while, right? What's up, John Dree? Kendra says Snickers. Almond Joy. That's a solid one. Now, Tim White right here. Nerds. I'll take all the nerds you got. Poppin' Rocks. I don't like a lot of candy, but I do like the Poppin' Rock kind of thing. Just the feeling of it. Okay, just a feeling. But yeah, nerds, they're solid. If you're going to go with a hard, small, really fruity flavored candy like that, nerds are solid. I'm more of a bar kind of guy, the Snickers, those kind of things. Nerds are solid. Peanut butter bars, the zebra looking ones. Okay. I know exactly which one you're talking about that. Now, Bit-O Honey will remove a filling. It will. All right, Carver goes, I have to ask a fishing question to everyone. Okay, now listen, you know the show, they can come anytime. We'll do our best to help you out, even through all the crazy crap we talk about. Would any of you be throwing an Alabama rig this weekend on Lake Lanier. Now, I do know that the other night the Alabama rig got mentioned on the show. I would not be throwing it. That's just me. And Tim, I know you ain't throwed one in a hot minute because you don't like it as much as you used to. But if you were what you used to throw it at, would you be throwing it this weekend, Tim? Which you used to throw it all the time. Alabama rig, you guys put it in the comment section, and I'll catch up with the answers here in a second. Coleman's giving out sawdust and chewed sunflower seeds because of the economy this year. Yeah, absolutely. John G says, I'm out on Sinclair, and all the docks are about out of the water already. The drawdown and the wind is whipping me. Dude, the weather's been nasty this week. I've been wanting to go deer hunting in the afternoon or in the morning before the show all week. And I'm like, it's where I'm hunting there. It's bow only. And I don't really like to bow hunt in the rain, not because I don't see deer or like shooting, tracking. You know, it's kind of like, I don't ever chance it with that. A wacky rigged gummy worm for sure. Absolutely. Bust them outdoors on TikTok. Caught my new PB this weekend, 8.6. Hold on a second. You might not be able to hear it, but we are going to try it here. If you can hear this, I don't know if that was loud enough. Let me try it again this way because he caught his PB. Absolutely bust him outdoors. There you go. Congratulations. 8.6 is solid, dude. That's solid. What'd you catch it on? $100,000 grand are pretty good, but you don't see them as much anymore. Kendra says need clusters. Yes. Skittles. Now, here we go. No, we'll talk about now candy apples. Hold on a second. Alex Purr says candy apples are overrated. Candy apples, yes. Caramel apples, no. Like I would kindly whip my mother for a good candy apple, a caramel apple. You know what I'm saying? He caught that on a Strike King spinnerbait. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. I got to start looking over here at this camera. You guys don't know, but I got a phone, a computer, a monitor over here. It's too much. So I have to take Adderall and all this stuff. Peanut butter cups, hands down. I agree with you, Dead Rabbit, right there. You can't go wrong with a Reese's peanut butter cup. I mean, you really can't. And there is one. Now, nobody's said it yet. I'm holding back on one. And we'll see if somebody says it. Barbell protein bars. Listen, my daughter and my wife are on this diet, and she has to eat gluten-free. My daughter does gluten-free stuff, and my wife has to eat so much protein and all that. If you go into my pantry, it is a desert for sweets. Okay? This fat boy is dying, and I'm supposed to be eating right, but there are more different flavorless protein bars than a man could shake a stick at in my pantry. What's up, Ed? And they're nasty as hell. You might as well be sucking the bottom of a shoe. And they're about as tough. And they love the things. And I'm like, that's disgusting. But there's no sweets in this house unless I actually go get them. Seth Bowman, howdy, boss. Howdy to you there, buddy. It's a hell of a looking deer you got on your profile right there. Get your house egged with fried apple pies? No. Orange peanuts or clown turds. Circus peanuts and the sugar-coated orange slices. Okay, so here we go. A-Rig. All right. I had to skip ahead a little bit. A-Rig. Clayton says yes. Kevin Underwood said an A-Rig will play. Tim White said absolutely. Bass time with Diaz, yes. Coleman, an A-Rig is better in theory than execution on Lanier. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of guys saying throw an A-Rig. Public. Oh, that's a whitetail shed. Okay, dude, that's awesome. I can just barely. It's very small. I see horns. What's up, Tony? Tony, you better get your act together, dude. We got to carry it this weekend. All right. Let me go ahead and scroll on down. If I missed it, there was one question. But yeah, A-Rig. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He says. Y'all choose spy bait or jerk bait. Which one should I tie on right now? Tyler wants to know. I'm going to say jerk bait. Others are going to say a spy bait. I'll say a jerk bait right now. What about you guys? Right now? Spy bait or jerk bait? Oh, you saw the mounts in the background and stopped scrolling. Yeah, I hunt too. It's a fishing podcast, but I do hunt. I got, well, they got hats hanging on them because I had to move all my hats. But you can't tell. It's 3 deer in the 130s. So right at 130, not high 130s, low 130s. Danny's ADD is going into overdrive. It is. I took a 5-hour energy and I've been living on nicotine and caffeine this morning. I like Three Musketeers on occasion. Caramello. You guys, I can't believe nobody's saying it. Now, jerkbait, except Clayton. Oh, Clayton throws crankbait in the mix. Kevin Underwood says jerkbait. Throw those spy baits away. And anyway, all right, so here's the one that I can't believe you guys haven't said it, because number one, it's my favorite candy bar out there, bar none. Number two, it makes an damn, Doug, there you go. Absolutely fantastic blizzard. The Butterfinger. How come none of you guys want the Butterfingers? I know you guys like the Butterfingers. How come you didn't say the Butterfingers? Now, I like top water and spinners. Seth, hey, nothing wrong with that, for sure. Jerkbait, John G says. I caught a 15-inch large on one 10 minutes ago on Sinclair. I'll have to take off the backdrop for just a second so you can see this. But jerkbait, that's what I would be throwing right now. That's a combination of Spros and an arc or two right there. And that's going with me this weekend, Tony. I know Tony likes throwing the jerkbait, but I will be throwing the jerkbaits, guys. And if you want to know what that is the hard bait launch pad from Groove Fishing. Pretty cool thing too. You can screw it, permanently mount it to your boat, or you can use this 3M stuff on the backside and it will stay. But you can use it to dry baits. You can have it to quick change. You can even mount this thing on top of a tackle box, whatever. And you know, if you're going to throw jerk baits all day, here's your colors. Boom, boom, boom. You ain't got to worry about taking out tackle boxes. You can kind of preset it all like that. But I'm taking that. That's going with me. Now, you guys talking about, let me put my backdrop back up. Hey, speaking of Tim White, where is he at? Look at that there. Look at the backdrop now. There's old Tim and my buddy Justin Reynolds. I wish you guys on TikTok could see this. This was from this past weekend. They were over on Lake Lanier EBO Classic, of which they won. Congratulations. Good job. Them two guys right there are freaking hammers. I'll leave it up for a little bit. Let's see. I like zero. Yeah, nobody lays a finger on my Butterfinger. I like them, but they hurt your teeth. Kendra says, Butterfingers hurt my teeth. Listen, you sissies. They do hurt your teeth. That's the thing about a Butterfinger. Whatever it is, that brown stuff, however they put that thing together, it's like they just layer it like plywood. And then when you chew into it, it gets in places that candy shouldn't get into, right? But I see they got another guy. Butterfinger gets stuck inside the molars in between my teeth. But you can't go wrong with the flavor of a Butterfinger. Okay? Butterfinger hands down to me is the best. And I'm telling you, you go to Dairy Queen and get a Butterfinger Blizzard. And I would say Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, strong second. Do you mount that on a track? You can mount it on the side, flat side, anything. Just depends on how you want to mount it. Like the old Butterfinger better than the new one. Not as big a fan anymore. I don't eat them as much as I used to. Them baby paydays are the bomb. Plus a payday is the best value of any candy bar made. That is true. And in today's economy, you got to consider that, right? You go into a Seth hasn't had candy since the 8th grade, so I don't know. It's been a hot minute for me. But I will say this, you go into a Quick Trip convenience store right now, and a Coke's going to cost you $3. A candy bar is going to cost you $2.65 at least. And now they got the king size candy bars. Hell, the Little Debbie's now are almost $2. Much less if you want to buy a pack of chewing tobacco. What's that, $12 now? And I paid $8 for a can of Copenhagen yesterday. Oh, my wife was pissed. Butterfingers are good because the stuff stays stuck to your teeth for an hour. It's long-lasting flavor. That's the way you got to look at it. Dane, I'll get with you after the show, dude. I'm sorry. What about chocolate or bar none? Bar none's okay. It's okay. But what about if you go trick-or-treating and you go out to the people, they're not giving out candy, they're handing out stickers or something. It's like, you got to read the room, people. Got to read the room. And we can continue to talk about that. Now, I got another question for you, too. Werther's Original. Werther's, or whatever. They're good. That's caramel, right? Anything caramel is good with me. Anything caramel is good. Now, I got a question for you guys that like to fish tournaments, and you don't even necessarily have to be, it doesn't have to be a tournament. It can be a big day, a big fishing trip you're going to. What's the night before look like for you guys? Or are you one of the guys that has your stuff ready throughout the week? And so on Friday night, all you got to do, let's say you got a tournament on Saturday, a big fishing trip on Saturday, all you got to do is sit back, sip on something, watch a ball game, go to bed at 9 o'clock. Or how many of you are like me? At 3 a.m., when I need to leave at 4 a.m., I'm still up retying something. What's your day before a big fishing trip or tournament prep look like? Because I'm sitting here trying to think. Tomorrow night, and Tyler goes rigging, looking at mapping, watching fishing videos, going to bed early. Coleman. Now see, y'all guys are giving smart answers. I hydrate and prepare throughout the week. Friday night is reviewing maps, waypoints. Where you at? I lost it. Hooking the boat up. In bed by 9? Good night. No way. Alex says gear is ready, but I'm out there staring at it, wondering what I need to change until 2 a.m. Kendra, the night before I'm up to 11, rigging and organizing. Diaz, I'm in bed and prepared, even after practice. You guys are great. Kevin, I'll get with you, dude. That's awesome. Thank you very much. We'll talk about that tonight as well. Doc says trip Saturday, ready by Wednesday. You guys are amazing because I'm telling you, I'm not ready. I'm not ready when I get on the boat the morning of. Seriously. John G. Oh, Tyler says, okay, hold on a second, real quick. Tyler says, I'm in bed by 9 anyway, no matter what day it is. What are you, 80? Huh? Dawson Thompson says, everything but sleeping. Carver says, preparing, retrying FG knots or retying FG knots. I didn't think you were supposed to have to. Ashley says, I'm not ready till I catch a fish that day. I get it. Seriously, I'm never ready. There's nothing ever right. But Dawson does everything but sleep. And that's it too. And listen, I don't care how many channels they're out there. They ain't crap on Friday night at 3:30 in the morning. I've watched like Fox News for the 15th time going through that. And it's just like, but I can't sleep. And you know why I can't sleep? It has nothing to do with preparation. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm afraid of oversleeping. Like if I'm late for church, and Lord knows I need it. But if it's 11:02, well, not this church I go to because we really don't get things going to about 11:05, 11:10 sometimes. But if I had a church that was like on the money starting at 11 o'clock and I'm rolling up in the parking lot at 11:02, no, I'm going back to the house. I don't like to be late for nothing, and I'm always afraid of oversleeping. I really ain't worried about the fishing because I'm going to get my ass handed to me anyway. I'm used to that. Far Dog in Oklahoma. There was an older lady growing up for Halloween. She gave out old-fashioned candy apples and caramel apples, one each if she liked your costume. And if she didn't like your costume, you just got one? Is that how it worked? John G. Up all night and usually first one at the ramp. Me too. Most of the time, I'm up early. I never can sleep, so I'm up all night. I'll watch fishing videos. There you go. Doug, I'm in my boat all the time just preparing for my next trip. It's kind of like my therapy. I get it. Now, here's Dane. This is right. Prep early, get in bed, toss and turn, second guessing my choices, finally fall asleep, and the alarm scares the crap out of me. That's it. That's it. Now, I'm going to skip a few. Tim. I get my, and I think he really does this because we've texted afterwards, and I know he's been in the boat on a Thursday night. I get my stuff ready on Thursday night and listen to the Livewell. That's the only correct answer. You're the man. Probably why in the hell you win all the time, too, because you're prepared. I don't tournament fish yet. I'll change out my baits multiple times, a lot of times. I like to have mine done days before and in bed by 8. And I'm going to ask you this question, guys. Let's say, like, this weekend I'm going with Tony. We're going to fish up there. Guys, too, if you're in the Blue Ridge area and you ain't scared, come out there. Fish that tournament with us. $100, Fishers of Hope, putting it on for a young man named Matthew. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Very laid back. But I'm going to be in Tony's boat. So if, I'm not taking everything I own because I've got totes. You know those black totes you buy at Home Depot? I've got 2 in here, Hell, I got one in here. It's just Spro stuff. I got 3 in my living room right now that my wife's raising hell at me for having. I've got a Silverado out there that needs to have the transmission fixed. I know I got 2 or 3 totes in it. Now I can't take everything, and I got these are just a handful of the rods that I just put. Well, you can't see them with the background. But what do you take if you're a co-angler? What do you take? And do you call your boater and say, "Hey, what are we doing?" Now, Tim, you and Justin fish together all the time, so that's I know you guys talk beforehand, but that's kind of you guys know. You guys know, but what do you guys do? Everybody does all that rigging, knowing good and well they're only going to throw one bait. And that's like me. I'm gonna rig up a jig, and I'll be throwing a damn worm. What's up, Rob? I need this stupid drizzle to stop. I know. Roger says I load up the car the night before, so when morning comes, I hop in and go. Art Jet, load truck, drink a beer or two, bed by 8. God, I can't go to bed that early, guys. Tie on a few and just wing it, Fred Ashcraft says. I like that answer for sure. I can't do it, guys. And here's the thing is, like I said, tournaments are fun business propositions for me because I am not winning enough money for it to be a sound business decision. I go there with my hats. I go there to shake guys' hands, to say hello, to stay out there in the community. That's why I like to fish these things. I know I'm not going to win, and yet I still cannot sleep. It's just my nature. I get so hyped up. You're not always late. Now, Jeff says, I'm usually ready earlier in the week, just double checking a few things on Friday. Usually don't sleep much the night before. When you take, I don't know how many of you guys out there have AD, whatever it is I got in my head, whatever the doc says I got. I don't know how many of you guys take medicine for it. But if you take certain things, it's hard to go to sleep. Tonight, after the Livewell, so like this morning, okay, before the show, you can't see this stuff when I've got that background. 5-hour energy, get through the day. I've had 3 cups of coffee, and that is a thing of Pepsi, and I've gone through half a can of Copenhagen. That will be my lunch and supper as well. And then tonight, we'll have a good show, and then come 11 o'clock when everybody's going to bed, I'm sitting there, I'm still wide awake going, my brain won't shut off. And that's the way it is on a Friday night. It ain't got nothing to do with winning. I don't even drink my energy drink or coffee until about 9 a.m. because I have so much adrenaline. I'll tell you this too, guys. Here's another thing, though. And I didn't have this on my bingo card to talk about, but one of my pet peeves, and a lot of you guys can't help it, is you don't get up until about an hour before you got to be there. You're going down the road, you get your cup of coffee or something, you get to the ramp, and then you got to go take a dump. All right. And it just kind of slows the process down. I'm afraid of that too. I think if I time it right through the middle of the night, I'm taking care of that about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm good all day. What tournament and where? Robert Blesky. We're doing a little benefit tournament up on Blue Ridge this Saturday, going out of Blue Ridge Marina. Fishers of Hope's putting it on for a young man named Matthew. So it's on Blue Ridge. If you go to Fishers of Hope, their Facebook page, or you can go onto the Fish North Georgia group page. We've got it pinned up to the top. You can see all the stuff. Come on down. I'd love to take your money. Tim, I think I'm going to try that tonight. Get ready, Livewell, and rig my stuff. It's good. It's a good time. You guys, hey, Far Dog's telling you again, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed. And again, hey, tonight, where the hell is that? We're doing a drawing. Oh, good grief. I have to turn off this thing. That's the one thing about these backdrops. It's not as sexy, but tonight, paid members, we're having our drawing tonight to see who gets the 731 JC Elite Reel from Spro. Okay, if you're a $4.99 guy, you get 1 entry into it. $9.99, you get 2. That's going to be tonight, but you got to be a member. Help support it. What you're going to do? Well, I'll tell you what you're doing with that. You're going to help me buy new cameras. Unless y'all just want to write me a check. How about this? Here's a good question. Ronnie wants to know, what size rock crawler do you throw, 50 or 55? I throw the 55 mostly. I don't know about the rest of the guys. I'll throw both, but I'll throw the 55 more than I will. Tony says, yeah, Danny, we need to talk about our plan. Tony, ain't no damn plan. You tell me what we're going to throw, dude, and that's what I'm going to have on. Tim, this is true. And well, Roger, let me hit Roger real quick. And you guys talk about the rock crawler real quick. And put it down there, 55 or 50. Which one you like to throw? Never more than 5 rods from the back of the boat. I'm a firm believer in taking the minimum that you can, 100%. And Tim White does say this. The hardest thing to do is downgrade from boater to non-boater, because as a boater, of course, you used to having all your stuff. When you're a non-boater, and like I said, you got all this tackle and you're thinking about the lake and all that, and you're like, what can I bring that's going to take up the most minimal amount of space, right? And then you go with that. Like, I do know this. I know Tony likes jerk baits. I'm gonna have some jerk baits. I'll be replacing a live well pump this afternoon, rigging tomorrow, Tony. Yeah, you better get that live well pump fixed, because I'm gonna put some fish in the boat. Going in confident, dude. Underwood says a 55. Underwood says he throws the 55 rock crawler. Depending on the tournament, I will sleep or be up all night. See, that's the thing, Diaz, is I can't differentiate the two. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I was fishing with when I fished with Underwood on those when we fished the Scott Barnes tournaments together. I don't know if I told him I didn't sleep. Hopefully he didn't notice it in my netting abilities, because he's the one catching all the fish. I thought I did pretty good as a net man. You just got to make sure you got enough energy to do your job. My medication makes it hard for me to get really excited anymore after saying that. That sounds really dark. Tyler, I take the same kind of medication. You just got to offset it. Now, Underwood said he likes the old wart too, the wiggle wart, for sure. Kendra, what is Kendra? I co-angled for 8 years. I always called my boater to get an idea of the area we we're going. I have one Plano with all the terminal tackle, one with a mix of hard baits, and one bag of plastics as well. That's solid. That's solid. I've got a little tackle box, one of them soft ones that I will have. I can tell you, I'll have I have a Plano box for all my terminal tackle. And then I will have my groove. I'll have 2 groove boxes in there, one with my jerk baits, one with my rock crawlers. And then I'll have a box that have soft plastics and underspins, those kind of things. I won't take a lot. And the problem is that, again, I don't utilize things like this. I should, but I have a bad habit when I am a co-angler of cutting something off and I don't want to throw it in their boat, right? And I'll just throw it down in my tackle box in that little soft one. And then when I get home that Saturday night, I am cutting the inside out because I got hooks stuck in everything. I am terrible at that. Danny, you know what helps me fall asleep before an event? I do take medication, but I also play Scrabble or a word search game to get my mind off things. Smart advice. Rob, you sound like you're 80. But no, seriously, Rob, what you said out there is smart. One of the worst things you can do is be on your phone, right? Or TV, because that stimulation. I get it. I get it. Cam says, I got half the damn alphabet and don't take anything for it except an occasional fish whistle. Oh, I embrace my alphabet disorders and wing it. That's what we got, dude. We got alphabet disorders. And again, you guys have heard me say it. My doctor says my brain is like a TV with satellite, and every channel's playing at the same time, and I'm trying to watch them all at the same time. So that's why sometimes, guys, I forget to do things like Dane. I got to get Dane the link to get signed up for the Toys for Tots. So I had to change a few things because of the situation with the company and how you pay. And I told you yesterday, it was day before Tuesday. All right, right after the show, I'll send it to you. Well, it's Thursday, and Dane's reminding me, hey, I need that link still. It's the way it is. Kendra, hey, I hope you guys win. Now, Tony says 55, Tyler 55, Bass Time with Diaz 55. Dane Hunter says I fish with both, depends on the depth I'm trying to target as well as the size of the crawfish. Kendra throws a 50. Gonna try and get on a rock crawler bite this evening on tuna. I hope you do. Justin's going back to work. We'll see you tonight. Danny, what size line, rod, and reel do you use on your rock crawlers? Okay. Where is she at? This is my setup for my rock crawlers. It's a Spro rock crawler rod. I got the JC Elite, and it is a 731. I use 12-pound Seagar and VizX. That's my setup. I don't get really fancy with it. That's it. Now, again, thanks to Spro that I own that rock crawler rod is amazing. And I actually was using it as my jerkbait rod as well because it's fantastic. However, I have to put a reel because now I got a mixed stick jerkbait rod from Spro. You can see that. I still got the tag on it. I haven't even put a reel on it. And I'll have that tomorrow. So I'll have me a dedicated jerkbait rod, a dedicated rock crawler rod. But I'll say this about that rock crawler rod. I honestly did. I started throwing the jerkbait on it. I got it to throw rock crawlers on, and I got pissed off one day because I wasn't getting bit, and I tried everything in the box, and I put a jerkbait on it and started working it. And I'm like, well, okay, for somebody my size, hey, this is pretty good. It's not too long. It's just flimsy enough. And then I've loved doing it ever since. So I've got to figure out the mixed stick if that's a good one. But that's what I use. I use a rock crawler rod from Spro, and it is. Let me see. I can give you guys. I'll take my glasses off. It's not. Hold on a second here. Let me see if it says. All right, it is a 7.2 medium. 7.2 medium. Spro rock crawler rod. That's it. And listen, I will tell you this about the JC Elite reels, dude. There are great reels on the market, and to say one is amazingly better than the other, I think sometimes is disingenuous. So I can tell you this: I like them. How about that? I'm not going to tell you that it is the best reel on the market, and I'm not going to say it's better than every other reel. I will say, in my hands, I absolutely like it. Cast smooth, reel's good, love it. Can't go wrong with it. Danny's plan for Saturday is to get beat by Tim McGuire, Jonathan Farmer, and the rest of the field. Dane Hunter, you're on double secret probation. I believe you're fishing with Farmer, correct, Dane? Ain't that the way it goes? Hey, I am confident. You can throw a 55 rock crawler shallow, lift your rod up high until you get it into the deeper water, works just fine. Sweep it to the side. If you get bit, I still think the rock crawler is the best of all the things we do. What kind of swim baits did I win on the last show filmed at the store? Was they homemade? I don't know. Did I send them? Far dog? I don't even remember. There's still a couple of them out there with the move from the shop and everything. I do have a couple that I have to send out. So if I didn't send them, it's on me. Rod wise, as a I take 6 rods, usually 3 bait casters, a crankbait, swim bait, and when I throw tubes, Carolina rig or jigs on, 3 spinning rods, a drop shot, a net, and a free rig. Solid. You can do that. And Kendra, I'll probably do that too, and I'll end up using 1 or 2 rods maybe. Tony says you bring all the gear you want. I've got a whole compartment, and I throw shit on the step floor as we change things up. My casa es su. I can't even say that, but I believe he says my home is your home. I also carry a mesh bag that has my cold tag, scale, balance beam, film clips, G-juice, and scents. For sure. Now, Tim, now listen to this. Yes, right. Because this is what he was drinking the night he texted me after the Livewell one night. And I believe we texted for another solid hour or so after the show. 2 or 3 Victory Sour Monkeys the night before a tournament, and I sleep like a baby. Those things are stout. They are stout. Roger always throws a 55. Rob says he might come on down. Come on down, man. $100 buy-in. I wish they made a rock crawler that runs even deeper. You could always make them go shallower if they need be. You know what? That is something. I wonder why they don't make one like in that body style that really gets down 20 foot. But I think at that point they're like throw the Little John or something like that. But I think that I think it would sell. I think it would sell. That rock crawler rod is moderate action. Perfect to keep them pinned. I said medium, didn't I? Yeah, it's an M. Guys, I'm just like you. I don't know all this shit. Blue Ridge is fishing good. Should be a good time. I hope so. Dane Hunter is a passenger with Jonathan Farmer. So listen, like I said the other day, really what you're doing is you're dragging Farmer down. I mean, Farmer's got to work hard to carry that weight. Now, I ain't talking physically, Dane. You know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk some smack here, buddy. We're going to talk some smack. But in all seriousness, I'm glad you're fishing. I love hanging around you guys. It's always fun. And listen, any of you other guys should come up. It doesn't matter. If you're an electric rig or whatever, come up there and spend the day. I mean, Blue Ridge ain't that big of a lake. And probably half the field's going up the river. So that'll leave you the rest of the lake. Tim, Stephen Sturgeon. Suspend strips will make your rock crawler run deeper. But let me ask you this, Stephen, does it affect how does the suspend strips affect the action on a rock crawler? Because I've never done that. I've never done that. But to be honest with you, Tim's a better angler than I. Tim is a better angler than me, and he probably thinks about going deeper a lot more than me. I'm just lucky I get the thing up there and can bring it through what I do. I like the strips. Never had. I've never tried to weight down a rock crawler. Never thought about it. Now you can adjust your line size and get it down a little bit deeper. Length of cast for sure. Um, some of the comments in this live are filtered to protect the community's experience. I don't know what you guys are typing over there, but somebody probably was calling me an idiot or something, I'm sure. Medium power, moderate action. There you go. Kendra, do you ever run into the problem of not having enough room fishing as a co-angler? I do not. And I generally, I don't have a bass boat per se, a glitter rocket, none of that. So I'm always a co-angler if I'm fishing with somebody on that. I never have a problem because here's what I really do. I take 5 rods. I take 5 rods. I take 1 tackle box. That's it. And that tackle box is the orange and black cheap ass mesh one that you can get at the Walmart that you can just put the compartments in. That's all I take. And so, most boats, my 5 rods will sit right there beside me, and I'll keep the tackle box in the floor between my legs so that when we're moving, my legs are over and they're not going anywhere. Now, that being said, like this Saturday, I'll have a coat. I'm going to try out my wicked weather gear. If for nothing else, it's not going to rain, but just I want to see how it feels with the wind because I know Tony's going to send it the first time. What's up, Georgia? Good morning, everyone. Have a blessed day. You have a blessed day as well. If anybody wants to fish and you need a partner, Rob's asking for that. Messick, she says no because I have everything very condensed and I actually pack light compared to most co-anglers. And that's what I was saying. I pack light. And then bitch because I don't have what I want. I mean, that's it. Dane says he's trying to level the playing field for y'all. Listen, all you got to do is follow Farmer. You know how everybody looks for seagulls and all that kind of stuff? If you're on Blue Ridge, Notley, Carter's, hell, even just follow Farmer. And just stay nice, just stay off of them. But Farmer's the kind of guy, honestly, he is. Come on, Danny. He'll let you pull the boat right up beside it. He's so confident he's gonna kick your butt anyway. You guys do have to get me a glitter missile. Yeah, y'all give me one. You can get it to run deeper, shallower by adjusting the line. I read that one. And then Steven says, I haven't noticed any change in the action. Yeah. I'm just curious. I'm not saying it would change it. I'm just curious. I wonder how it would change the feel, everything. Because I think anytime you adjust something, it's got to feel a little bit different. But it might act the same. It might all be mental. Let's see here. Yeah, guys, buy me a boat. Buy me a boat. Send it to me. Tax deduction. We'll figure it out. Use the strips instead of the dots. No waste for the same money. Far Dog says that has anyone had any luck with Berkeley stun and jerk baits? It's hard for me to switch, but all I hear at home is how they're the ones to be throwing. I throw the Vision 110S plus one, or 110s plus one. Stunners are fantastic. I don't like a ton of Berkeley stuff. The stunners are legit. I throw Spros, but I have in my box. I'll have in my box with Tony, my groove jerkbait box will probably have 12 to 14 jerkbaits in there, of which I'll throw 2. But I got them, right, in case somebody needs them. But it'll be, I'll start off, I do throw the McDart Spro. I like the McDart. I like it better than the McStick. The Stunner is right there they're all right there with them. They're good. But I will tell you this, don't sleep. Guys, don't sleep on Arc. Arc has some jerk baits very reasonably priced with some super fantastic colors that have good action. In fact, there's an Arc right there in that. One of those, at least one of those is an Arc. Tell me if you can tell the difference between the Spro and the Arc just by looking at it. Some good looking stuff. I like Spro. Anytime I can throw something Spro, I will throw Spro. I just like them. Danny, important question. Seat or no seat for the back deck? Is it a lean-to? Is that what you're talking about? Stunners are fire. They're good. Saturday, I'm going to look like a mixture of the Pillsbury Doughboy and the Michelin Man trying to stay warm. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be cold, dude. It's going to be cold. Now, Kendra says, my boater borrows stuff from me all the time. Ain't that the way it works? Tony says Stunners are the best in his opinion. And listen, I can't argue with that. I will say this. I know a lot of guys are going to say Mega Bass and all that. I just think for the money, there's better options. James Weber, Mega Bass. I knew it was coming. And I can't tell you that Mega Bass are bad. They're great. They're fantastic. But I'm just like, if I could buy 2 of these for one of that and be very similar in performance or right there, I'm going to go 2-1 every time. But hey, listen, guys like Mega Bass, they're brand oriented. They love it. They've had great success. No need to change. Totally give you that. Rob says, I'll give you my boat. I hope it ain't going to come with the payment. But if you just want to give it to me, Rob, sure. Cam says, I love the arcs. Now, Rob, here you go. Arc jerk baits are almost on point with the Mega Bass. They're good. They're good. The eyes are a little different. That's about it, Anthony. They ain't much. And again, there are some jerk baits on the market that I would not throw. But for the most part, man, baits today, they're all great. No, I don't want to fold up old man seat. I'm good. Anyone try putting a dressed treble on the Contender Junior swim bait? I have not. Have any of you done that? I have not. In fact, I don't know about that one. Patricia, you were crazy. I am not retiring all day. Where's Patricia? Oh, okay. Co-anglers. Oh, here we go. Patricia. I missed this comment. Let me pull this one up. Co-anglers only need 2 rods and reels, 1 spinner, 1 bait caster. Yeah. I mean, could you get away with that? Yes. Would you want to? No. And I do agree with Kendra. You would be retiring a lot. You would. The McDart is a favorite too. I like the McDarts, dude. And I like reeling the McDarts. Just straight up casting them out and reeling them almost like it was a Seville, getting it down. And I'll be doing some of that Saturday. I know we'll work the jerk bait and we'll do things, but I will be casting it at some point, just reeling. I got a special color that you guys ain't seen yet, the one for Blue Ridge. I'm hoping it's going to be the ticket. I like jerking the floating minnows from Rapala. You know, Kevin, that was the jerk bait I grew up on. The little 5-6 inch floating Rapala. That's what I grew up on. It floated, and jerkbait fishing me was hitting it 3 or 4 times and getting it just under the water, and bass just exploding it. Nobody throws it as much. Well, one reason because it's so light, you couldn't really bomb ass cast it. But apparently, they've come out with like a thing now that you can cast them farther. In a team tournament, please bring more than 2 rods if you have them. Tony says, for sure. It's glide bait season for me. I'll have 5 different ones on deck Saturday morning. I will have a jerk bait and a crankbait on standby. So, yeah, I get it. Let's see. Anthony Hampton. Who is fishing where on Saturday? I know that Tony and I will be fishing with Dane and Jonathan Farmer, Tim McGuire, and I don't know, some other boats. We'll be on Lake Blue Ridge fishing the Fishers of Hope benefit for the young man named Matthew. So if you want to come do that, hang out with us. I think it'll be safe flight till 3:00. They'll have a little raffle. I've got a like a gift package to give to the young man afterwards. And then I think like even Kaz Anderson is going to give, I don't know, he might not be, maybe he's not watching this. Kaz Anderson is going to give the young man a trip. Just something to make this boy feel good because he has a problem with his liver and the doctors can't even pin exactly what it is. And so you can imagine being in that situation where you're sick, something's wrong, but you don't know what. And they can't give you anything. So if you're in the Blue Ridge area, come on up and fish with us. This is not a BFL serious, it's going to be a good time. And if you get your butt handed to you, you get your butt handed to you. It doesn't matter because we're not there for anything but that. So I hope some of you guys will just surprise us and show up. It'll be a good time. Roger. What you do, Danny, sounds like me from the back of the boat. I'm always in the back of the boat. Don't feel comfortable on the trolling motor. No, listen, I'd run that trolling motor, Roger. Just I'm very understanding that's their boat. And some guys run a trolling motor differently. Like if you fish with Farmer or Ryan, especially if you're fishing summertime patterns or spring, summertime. That trolling motor's on 8 to 10, and you're going down and you're getting 2 casts per dock. They get that one on that one side, and then you got to be the follow up, and they'll get that on the other side, and you got to be the follow up. So I've learned that kind of. I'm hitting it up with a follow up bait. But yeah, a lot of guys aren't. I'm all about efficiency. I sometimes have 2 drop shots rigged. Yeah, you can do that for sure. I'm thinking about the big dog tournament Saturday on Allatoona. What is the big dog tournament? What is that, DS? What exactly is the big dog tournament? Carver. I changed out my front hooks on my Mega Bass Vision 110 with a willow leaf treble. Extra flash works good. Hey, interesting. I really like guys that like tinker, right? We had Will Harkins on the very first time he was on a long time ago. He talked about taking baits and even jerk baits and stuff and putting skirts on them. Always tinkering. Anthony, what is the big dogs on Allatoona? What is that? What exactly is that? I'll be holding down for the 40 plus guys battle of the gins. Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff on that too. What's big dogs? I'm more interested in knowing what the big dog thing is. It's a local tournament that came up cut off at 50 boats. Does it own Allatoona all the time? John Gregory runs the big dog. Good group of guys, well run. Just a monthly pot tournament. Oh, so you guys just call yourself the big dogs. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Y'all the big dogs on Allatoona? I'm just giving you a hard time. Hey, that's cool. That's very cool. Is it kind of like Scott Barnes? His tournament, is it like the best of the best on Allatoona? And I'm being very serious. Is the big dogs basically the equivalent of Scott Barnes's Lake Lanier tournament? And can anybody show up? So like they'll take 50 boats. Has been big dogs for years. I ain't never heard of it, Anthony. I've been doing this for 6 years, and that's the first time I've heard anybody say anything about big dogs on Allatoona. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I missed it. I'm going to set alarm to mess with you today. I'm going back to bed. Got to keep an eye out on Tim tonight. Y'all go eat some donuts tonight on me. Only difference between you and I is I don't use bait casters. I always throw spinning reels. I always have to have a seat, bad back. And Roger, you got a day or two on me. And it might not be long before I have to do that. Mason, you gonna fish the Toys for Tots? Yes, sir. We're gonna put it on, and I am fishing it. Me and Tim McGuire will be fishing it this year. We're not gonna do the weigh in, that kind of stuff, because number one, we froze our ass off. Number two, we're not doing those kind of things because of the company kind of split. Number three, I want to fish. I want to take a chance at $5,000, dude. I'm doing the one. I'm raising it. Maybe I get a chance to win it. Probably not though. Anyone could show up. Danny wants to come over and take some cash. Yeah, that's right. Kendra, the Sunday tournament I am fishing is called Frosty Nuts. I'll leave that right there, Kendra. We men. I told Charlie the 8-pounder is my turn this year for sure. I hope somebody catches 8-pounder again in it. Never heard of it. Been fishing Allatoona for years. Doug Rice. That's what I was saying. I ain't never heard of it. It's a mixed bag. Some consistent sticks and newer anglers. Anyone can fish it. Michael Vogel. Guys, this is true. Don't forget the 3/8 spot choker this time of year. I will have one on. And we'll be throwing a specific color, Kitech, on Blue Ridge. I've been told by many this is the color to throw. Where do the big dogs launch from? Carver would like to know. Me too. Speaking of big dogs on tuna, we had a group of about 10 German Shepherds come out of the woods to the bank the other day. Not a pack I'd want to run up on if I was on land for sure. Stephen, tinker question. Ever put a skirt on a straight worm between the hook eye and the hook point? Stephen, interesting you said that. Cam sent me a picture, and I can't pull it up, but it is a skirted, kind of shaky head. And if that's kind of what you're saying. Yeah, a skirted shaky head. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Between the hook eye and the hook point. So yeah, I mean that's what it was. Now you can get those. They do make those nail weights for the Nico rigs that have some skirt on it. Very hard to sell those things, though. I will tell you this: I got a bunch of them at the shop. Couldn't give them damn things away. They're almost like a daggum slobber knocker. No deer yesterday, buddy. No deer. I ended up having to do some business stuff, and I did not hunt at all. Big dogs launch out of Gatewood. Okay, and he said that skirted straight worm works. I bought them at Gable's Sporting Goods. Now, how many of you guys have taken? Because the thing down at ICAST this year, because everybody's run out of ideas, is to take a Nico or a worm or a turd, a Ned Rick, something like that, and run these silicone strips to it to give it kind of more of a dicey skirt appearance. And you guys do that? I don't do that. Tell Underwood, Ronnie says, Underwood, throw us his juice on his favorite color rock crawler for this time of year. And we'll see if Underwood will answer that. I don't know that. What is your favorite color rock crawler? Oh, shit. See, I done got hooked on the back thing here. That's not good. I'll have to fix that off camera. And I messed this whole thing up by jerking it out that way. My wife's going to be pissed. Hold on a second. Let me get the puzzle piece there for the TikTok guys. This is my favorite color rock. Oh, shit. Hold it right. Red bug. There we go. That's my favorite. Now, I know a lot of guys are still throwing the shad colors right now. Let me go back up here to this. Nobody wants to look at that background. All right. Danny about pulled everything off that little stand. Y'all talking about, you want something that's rigged, boys? It is rigged. But what is it, Kendra? You said, yes, I do. I don't know what that question was. So anyway, but I'm telling you, Saturday at Blue Ridge will be fun. I mean, I will tell you this, and Tony, if you still listen, I'll have a rod with a jerkbait. I'll have a rod with a rock crawler. I'll have a rod with a shaky head or worm style. Might be chicken egg, something like that. I'll have a worm. I will have on a underspin or some type of swim bait style bait. And that's going to be maybe one with top water. But it's going to be really cool up there in the morning. I don't know how much top water is going to play. I don't really know. I think when I saw the weather, I think it was supposed to be in the 30s at blast off up in Blue Ridge, and the high is going to be in the 50s. So, I haven't been out on the water this year in a good cold one in the boat yet. So it'll be the first one of the year. It's always kind of like, whoa. That's the best color. And don't forget the brake color. Listen, red bug's the best to me. That's just me. I don't know. When it comes to jerkbait, I forget the name of this color. Hold on a second. Because this is what happens this is kind of what I do on my boat. Things should be very organized here. And I just throw crap down because I use it. And then I've got to go back and figure it out. I love this actual color by Spro. And I don't even remember the name of the color. Okay. But it's a darker brown gold with a little bit of purple right here in the back. I don't even know if that's wampum or whatever it is. I have to figure it out. But I absolutely love that color. All right. Yeah. For me to show you guys the right color, I got to take it off the visual effects, off the backdrop. I love that color. You guys can kind of see it over there. If it's windy Saturday, you better have a heavy mini meat. Spinner bait crossed my mind. That is true. I don't know what the wind's going to be. But yeah, Tim, thanks. That is true. It also depends on where Tony wants to fish as well. But yeah, mini meat. Yeah, that's smart. Brim color. My bad, guys. I'm driving. Yeah, they have one. Diaz says he couldn't agree more with you. I know when it was cooler last Sunday morning, topwater was dead on tuna. I had one strike on Chapo, but nothing else on a spook buzz or Chapo. Tyler says, I'm in search for a big spot on tuna and a lot of them. You need to go hang out with the big dogs like that. I love the names of these things like that. So, all right. So tonight, before I forget, I think I'm caught up on the comments. And I'm not even going to get into the labels thing. We'll talk about labels later. That was more of a serious one. That's wampum. That's what I thought it was. Wampum. Wampum, wombat. Hell, I don't know. Whatever they want to call it. I don't know who comes up with names, but I actually like this. That mini-me will play no matter where Tony fishes. There you go. I'll have one tied on. What color, Tim? Because I know you're pretty good up on Blue Ridge. What color should I be throwing? Anyway, so tonight, though, on the live, well, like I said, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to see if I can confirm with my guest for tonight. But if nothing else, guys, it will be me and the guys, and we're going to talk fishing. Same thing we're just doing here. We'll talk about what we're going to look for into the weekend and whatever else pops up. This lake y'all fishing, is it a Highland Reservoir or somewhere in the middle? No, it's Highland Reservoir. It is a TVA lake that rests in Georgia. It was a smallmouth, largemouth lake. The spotted bass have gotten into it, and so there are still some smallmouth in it, but they're few and far between. You'll catch some meanmouth where they have kind of crossbred, and it just depends on time of year. I mean, you can fish it 100 different ways, and it does have a pretty good river section. It's not a huge lake. Anything shad colored. Okay, Tim. Appreciate that. It's not a very big lake. We're not talking about a 38,000 Lake Lanier, 38,000 acre Lake Lanier. This is more of a, what would you guess? I don't even know. I haven't looked. 3, 4, 5,000 acres, if that. It's not that big. It is not a big lake at all. Once you get going up 575 out of Atlanta, you'll pass Allatoona. You keep going on up. Then you get to Carter's. That's a little over 3 or something like that. Then you get to Blue Ridge. Then you get to, it's only 3,300 acres. There you go. Then you get to Blue Ridge. Then you get to Notley, and then you get to Chattooga. None of them are really huge lakes. They're not huge lakes. Have y'all mentioned the mini Z-Man chatterbait? No, and I don't throw enough of the Z-Man stuff. I have one chatterbait that I throw, and it's it is that Spro one, because they give them to me, guys. They give them to me, but I like them. I would tell you if I didn't like them. I don't throw too much Z-Man stuff. I do know that Jeremiah Giles said something about that the other day on the show. I think he likes them. I do think he likes them. Well, let me ask you this, Tim White. Let me ask you this before I got you. You said a mini-me. You said a spinnerbait. If a guy threw chatterbait and didn't like throwing a spinnerbait, could he not throw a heavier chatterbait in a shad color and just burn it? Or do you think he'd have a lot better chance? And Diaz, you agreed with him on that. Do you think he'd have a better chance sticking with a spinnerbait? You're welcome, Roger. Has anybody in here fished Lake Toho? Because I have not. But I mean, what would you do? What would you think, Tim? Would you stick spinnerbait, or if a guy was like, I'm a chatterbait guy, if he went with a shad color, could he have as much chance for success? Because I know a lot of guys don't like throwing a spinnerbait. And I don't even know if Tim's still on here. He might have already gone. Some of you guys do have jobs. Diaz says better sticking to the spinnerbait on the Highland Reservoir. Yeah. Kendra says I throw the Z-Man jackhammer all the time. I also throw the mini Z-Mans. And again, people like them. Now, Jonathan Messick says, I believe that spinnerbait has the flashy blades on it, which is an attractant for them. Yeah, and you're probably right. Now, Tim says, depends on where the fish are in the water column. So I'm just going to guess because I'm going to end the show here in a second. But if they're up, spinnerbait. If they're down, chatterbait. Is that what you're saying? Am I following you on that? I like the Z-Man. Had decent luck on it around docks in the shad color. Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, I'm not telling you it's a bad product. It's a hell of a product. It's an expensive product, but it's a hell of a product. But everything's getting expensive, right? Let me see if Tim answers that question, and then we'll call it. Brazalo Strutter is my go-to bladed jig now. Tony, that's right. I haven't thrown the Brazalo stuff yet. You guys got all the free stuff from Brazalo, and then you bought some stuff too. Didn't he give you guys some things to try? I haven't even tried anything from Brazalo, but I know you guys love it. So I can't talk bad about it at all because, I mean, I respect what you guys like to do with it. And if something sucked, you guys would tell me. Because they have told me, I'll be honest with you guys, there's been a few things that the guy, and I will not mention them, but there have been a few things that the guys have been given that they'll tell you off, nah, I like this one better. Definitely will not bash them on the show or nothing like that. Never. We would never do that. But they're very honest with it. And I will say when it comes to the Brazalo stuff, the guys really like it. I'm not knocking the chatterbait at all, just based on my experiences. And again, I don't know. Diaz, you could be exactly right. Yeah, he sent me 5 strutters, and I had just bought a ton of his previous old design strutters. Yeah, he's a good dude too. He's a good dude. I'm uh I'm waiting on Tim. Give me that answer, Tim. If they're deep chatterbait, if they're high spinnerbait. And he might have had to go back to work. That's one thing about this. You never know what you're gonna get right here on this show. But tonight, Tony's gonna be on. Dave Aldridge is available. If needed. I know Tim won't be on. Father Time will be on. But I got 2 guests, and I'm sitting here waiting to see if they can make it happen. And okay, here you go. Tim said, I'd yo-yo the chatterbait closer to the bottom if the fish are suspended and on the bait, spinnerbait. Perfect answer. We will end it with that. So tonight, again, like I said, Tony will be on. Father Time will be on. Dave might be on, depending on the guest situation. But regardless, first of all, we're going to give away that reel if you're a member. So you got to be here for that. And also, too, we'll talk fishing. All right. Nobody's dressing up tonight, so I'm not going to come in looking like a Julius Caesar again. I don't think my wife was too appreciative of the backdrop the other day. For those of you that didn't see it, I haven't took it away yet. But I don't think my wife liked that too much. It is what it is. Easier to ask forgiveness, right? But you guys come hang with us tonight. 8 o'clock, we'll be back. And we can continue this talk as well, too. And we can talk some smack, too, for sure. You guys have a great rest of your day. I hope I win that reel. That'll be a nice early Christmas present. Hey, listen, you can. Wait, no, we're not dressing up. Tony, I wasn't planning on dressing up tonight. Now, if you want to dress up, you can. Let's take Tony. I don't think Kevin's watching. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell Kevin to dress up. We'll get Kevin to dress up, and then we'll show up regular. I think that would be funny as crap. But Kevin might be watching this, so he might be on our plot. So we'll have to figure it out. But you guys come back tonight at 8 o'clock, and we'll have fun with it. We'll see what goes on. We'll talk. We'll see who's going to show up for the guest. But listen, the show is y'all's. You guys make it, and so bring some stuff tonight. Bring the heat, and we'll get on at night. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in about 7 hours.